tell him you're in the right path. But I would say things will take longer than you think. TTT. Things take time. And I think is you have the pattern recognition and you have the energy, but you don't have the patience. And you just need to have a bit of a patience. So I expected NAS Daily to blow up on day 20. It didn't. It took 270 days. I expect my company to blow up on year 1. It didn't. It took until year 4 or 5 to get it. You know? So TTT is what I would tell me 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's a really good advice, and I think that complements really well with the advice that you gave about deadlines and about quantity, because I think in this world there's like this false dichotomy of quality or quantity.
Yeah.
But the realization is that knowing that quantity eventually produces quality if you had like the right algorithm.
Exactly.
If you're in an ever-growing process, quantity eventually produces quality.
I love that.
Yeah.
Quantity produces quality. That's the whole point of 1,000 videos in 1,000 days.
Yeah.
I don't understand these people who just like, disappear for 1 year and make one video. That like I really think you need to throw spaghetti at the wall until you hit bullseye.
Yeah. And in NAS.io, how do you implement like this strategy of quantity and produces quality, and how's your daily process?
Well, so the question is, what is NAS.io?
Yeah.
You know, I think one of the biggest problems I found is that social media doesn't pay. You could have millions of views, millions of followers on TikTok and Instagram, and you are barely making $10.
But in short form content.
In short form content. Even long form content on TikTok and Instagram, it doesn't pay.
Yeah, and in TikTok and Instagram is
only YouTube and Facebook, right? So now you have these thousands and millions of people creating content and not getting rewarded for it. And I think the best way to get paid from content creation is your community. It's not the brand. The brand doesn't care about you. I'm sorry. And it's not the social media platform. Your community is the one that will support you and buy your products. So that's why we built a full platform called NAS.io to help you manage your community and monetize the community. It's the place where you go to like actually sell your products or create a membership or create events or engage with people at a deeper level. And that's what it's been missing in my life is I have these shallow interactions making videos for random strangers. But what I really needed is deep interactions with 100 people that really care about my product or my career or my content. That is much more powerful than 60 million people. And so I literally went, and for the last 1 year, I spent $4 million to build a technology platform that is designed for communities, that is designed to help you build a community and monetize it. And that's why I'm here actually in Mexico to like launch it in Spanish.
Okay.
So we think that Latin America is big into community and big into monetization because no one is making money from social media, TikTok and Instagram. And that's what I really want to do. I want to help the next NAS Daily find a community and get money from it.
Yeah.
And sustain from it.
And that's how you make like a long-lasting career as well, because brand deals are temporal, and the way you build a long-lasting career is by cultivating your community.
Exactly.
And I actually inspire a lot of what I do in authors like Tim Ferriss, Ryan Holiday, which have like this really email database.
Exactly.
That they cultivate their community weekly or
through email.
Through email.
Yes.
And that's a way, and that's like a stoic way of approaching content, because you don't depend on things that you cannot control.
Exactly.
And you control more variables and you eventually get this realization that you don't need like a lot of people to live of what you love to.
Exactly. But here's one
you
problem.
Have a efficient process.
But here's one problem with email lists. They don't work in Latin America.
Yeah.
Because people love WhatsApp.
Yeah.
They don't check email, they check WhatsApp. Same with India and Asia. So actually, email lists work for American creators, but what you really need is a community platform that can help you send an email and send a WhatsApp message.
Yeah, an integral solution, of course.
So that's what NAS.io is. It works on top of WhatsApp and email for community management. And I'm seeing already people making like $4,000 a month from a WhatsApp group. It is crazy.
Yeah.
So they say, community members, like, give me $5 a month, and I'll share with you, and we'll chat with each other in this WhatsApp group, and you'll join my community, and I'll give you value in this WhatsApp group. And then thousands of people are saying, yes, I want to enter your WhatsApp group, and they're making $4,000 a month from a WhatsApp group. And that gives me so much excitement, because now this person can predict their revenue this month and next month and next month and next month, because their community is behind them. People should be very careful of relying on brands, because if you say one wrong sentence, you will be canceled. And when you get canceled, brands will run away from you like they are Usain Bolt.
Yes.
Okay? So when brands run away from you, what are you going to do next? And so this whole idea that, brands are actually, they care about selling their products. They don't care about your career and your aspirations as much. So when you become sensitive, or when you say make a mistake, brands run away. And when brands run away and social media platforms don't pay, who is there to support you? Your community. And that's why I think people should index less on brands and more on community management.
Do you think anybody can be or should be a creator? Like, is that an advice that you would give? Like, because you open a source of income that takes the pressure off your other sources of income if you build content around what you love.
Yes.
So if you have like a shoe shop and you make like videos about shoes, you eventually gonna start making income from this other source of revenue that will take the pressure off of only your shop. Like, would you give that advice?
So I actually think everybody in life who's building a business should think about content as a way to find their next customers. Content is very important, but not everybody needs to have 1 million followers. Yeah. In fact, you're much better off with 1,000 deep followers than 1 million followers. And I see it in the Nas.io platform. The most successful communities don't have millions of followers. They have 100, 200, 300. Your physical community is enough to support you. So imagine this, you're a shoe seller and you're in a neighborhood of 2,000 people. 200 of them really like you and want to support your education, for example. You don't need TikTok. You don't need Instagram. You don't need Facebook. You can make a sustainable living from 200 people. And I think that's really powerful, because everybody listening to us probably thinks, I could never have 60 million followers. I give up. Well, you don't, and you shouldn't.
Yeah, and there's this, like the specificity of your content. Like, you can go really niche, and you can reach like a smaller audience, but it's going to be a more engaged audience. Yes. Because your content is more specific to them, right?
Exactly.
And if you got more broad, you need to be more generic in a way, and
shallow.
And shallow.
Yeah.
So you take some compromises by building a larger audience than you would if you had a smaller audience.
So actually, if you take the difference between me and you, I actually went very shallow and very broad, which is a mistake. Okay, you get so many followers, but you don't actually have depth, because I made 1-minute videos. You make 1 hour long content, and you go really deep with the audience. You and I have the same number of loyal audience, probably, and so you and I can make the same amount of money from the loyal audience and get support from them. So actually 1-minute videos is good to get attention, but at some point,
they're like trailers. They're like trailers.
They're like trailers, yeah.
Which eventually, like, you also have, obviously you have depth and you have built this company, and you now have a YouTube channel which is doing pretty good.
Yeah.
But these 1-minute videos were a trailer for people like me to get to know you.
Yes.
Yeah. So they like the intention of the 1-minute piece is not monetization, is attention. So, and then you can capitalize and convert the attention into whatever you want to convert, right?
Exactly. So social media is where you go wide. Nas.io is where you go deep. Yeah. Very simple math.
And I want to touch on a subject that you briefly talked about when you were talking about your previous job, about meaning.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people right now live in a world working jobs that don't have meaning.
Yes.
And connecting with people who have similar interests than you and building a community gives your life meaning, because
Yes.
sometimes you end up in a job where you don't really realize or understand the implication of getting one Excel and turning the data and passing it around to another Excel, and you
Yes.
don't get like this realization
Yes.
of creating something
Exactly.
and seeing the fruit of your job.
Yes.
And this type of work, making a video, building a community, making a podcast, gives you that catharsis, that realization, and it's a really valuable thing to have. Like I would encourage everybody. Like that's why this phrase "get a hobby" is so popular, because it's true. You need to cultivate the meaning in your life, and
Yes.
that and in my opinion, that's something that you do by creating and
Yes.
experimenting with the world.
But what if I told you I don't have any hobbies?
You don't have any hobbies?
Yeah, because meaning I derive from the job.
Yeah.
So when I get meaning every day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., I don't need another hobby to get meaning. You know, I don't donate to charity, because I believe that the work itself is important and good for the world. So I feel like it is also a form of charity, you know? So in a way, what I advise people is to find a job or make a career where you find meaning from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., not try to find meaning on the weekend by drinking at clubs until Saturday night. Because when I did not have meaning in my job, I was drinking 2 nights a week minimum and clubbing, because I was searching for that meaning through human interactions. I didn't find the meaning in the office. So if you find meaning in your office, you are the luckiest bastard alive.
Enjoying the process is the reward.
It's the reward.
That's the reward. If you're thinking of the weekend, then you're not enjoying the process, and you're thinking about your life as a transaction to